now. Okay, this is Team Fearlessly Authentic Zoom, our first of many bi-weekly Zooms that I'll be holding. It is August 5th, and the topic of today's meeting is going to be about engagement. So keeping our challengers engaged and continuing a pattern of staying power. What we want more of, that I keep hearing from everybody, is we want our challengers to stay around longer, to get the long-term benefits of Shakeology and of the group, just like we've gotten. And we're going to do that in a few different ways. Oh, good, Katie's joining. Hi, Katie. I don't know if you can hear me, Katie. Oh, hi, Katie. Can you hear?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just hit record, so I'm just starting.
All right.
I was like, this is our first team Zoom. We're going to have these bi-weekly, and I'm going to record them every time now, which I'm super excited about. I have my notes down here. I'm not going to do announcements this time because we just had announcements in the last Team Lead and Love Zoom. So what we're talking about today is staying power and with our challengers and keeping them engaged. We want our challengers to stay around longer so that they can experience the long-term benefits of Shakeology and of being in the group. We know from other people and other challengers and ourselves that the longer that we stay in, the more we benefit. And what ends up happening a lot of times is our challengers are kind of giving up, throwing in the towel a little bit prematurely. And I decided that I wanted to take personal responsibility for my own challengers who do that, and find ways to engage them more and keep them interested for longer. So that's a little bit about what we're going to talk about. The first thing on my list is like from the beginning, like we attract our challengers by what we're posting on Facebook. And so something that I really want to hit home with is how important your story is to your Facebook page. So making sure that you're sharing your struggles, your story, where you've come from, and not feeling so obligated, or I should say, sometimes we see other people's posts and we're super motivated by them, but it's important to remember that those people's posts motivate us because it's their story and their words, and it would look different coming out of your mouth or from your Facebook page. So starting with the engagement that you have on your post, just make sure your story is very authentic. It's very much about you. It's certainly okay to get ideas from other people, but just don't share their story because that's not your story. And people that you want in your tribe and the challengers that you want are going to come to you based off of your story and what you're sharing. And those are the people that you want to attract. Second, when they move on to buying the challenge pack, it's important to remember that that is just the beginning. That's not the ending. I hear a lot of coaches get real hung up on just hitting Success Club and thinking that that's the moment, like where they've arrived. Like, I've arrived, I sold the challenge pack. But we know as veteran coaches that that is just the beginning of our job with them. And that the real work comes in after that when we get to work one-on-one with each of our challengers. So just don't have that mindset that the challenge pack is the end result. That's actually just the very beginning. One of the things, or a few of the things that we're going to change up in this month's group, one of them is more engaging posts. I'm working on a new schedule, and it'll be like before, where if you don't love your theme for the day, you can come up with your own. But and I do like the aspect of having inspirational posts with ideas and I mean we've just kind of done the same thing for so long that I think even our regular challengers are I wouldn't say they're getting bored. It's just the same thing. And so I was thinking in my head, like, how can we change it so that people interact more than just the first week? And how can we change it so that it's not the same thing every time? And what I came up with in my mind is to kind of like I had Stephanie do on her drawing days. She did something where the challengers had to answer like a question or be engaged. I want to do more posts like that. So they aren't as lengthy and long, but they're more short and sweet and encouraging other people to interact. And I'm completely drawing a blank right now as to what I was thinking. But even one of the posts that we've done before, where it was like share your non-scale victory, something like that. But there's more content. There will be much more posts. And they'll be asking for more responses too. I was thinking of incorporating like a little bit of personal development in our posts. So posting like short clips of things, like real brief, no like 20-minute Brene Brown posts. We're talking like short and sweet, like the stuff that we get in the morning. Do you guys all get the Darren posts every morning? Is that Darren? Is that who it is? I'm totally drawing a blank. So like something like that, like where it's literally like just 2 or 3 minutes, just something a little motivational and saying, what's your takeaway from this? Another idea that I had was to do for drawing days, the days that we do drawings, would be to encourage a little bit of a scavenger hunt, meaning nothing too serious, but it would be go back to the post that was made on Tuesday and comment on it, and we'll enter you in a drawing. So if something didn't get a ton of engagement, but we felt like it was really important material, we would encourage them and teach them how to go back and find that post and comment on it. And we can kind of gauge that as we go. We don't have to implement all this stuff this first time, but I feel like it's gonna freshen it up a lot. And if we do as much as we can without overwhelming ourselves, the whole idea is that it's actually gonna be easier. We're going to feel more engaged. They're going to feel more engaged. We're all gonna feel a lot happier. So that's kind of my point behind doing all of this. And for the record, like Jess and April have set up our groups really well. Obviously, they did a fantastic job. But I just see, like, now that we're kind of off on our own and we started our own team and we're doing our own things, I'm ready to add in some more flavor. You know, I'm always preaching about if it's uncomfortable or scary and pushing you in a good way, that means you should be doing it, and that's where the growth comes. So that's my hope, is that changing the direction of this will make less work for us. We'll feel more engaged, like it's our team and sort of our ideas, and I'm totally open and welcoming new ideas too. But I'm just hoping this will get us more invested. I wrote on my list butt check, but I actually meant gut check. So I didn't have to say that out loud, but you know, I did have to. So gut check. This is a really big one that we heard about at Summit. It is asking yourself how invested and committed you are. What are you doing for your workouts? Are you being a product of the product? Are you drinking your shake every day? Are you commenting on posts? Are you posting yourself in the group? And those are really important questions to ask. We hear a lot from, I hear a lot from coaches, and I've even seen us talk about it in the groups, how there isn't a ton of engagement. We'll be like, oh, there's such a lull in the group. Well, what are we doing to fix that? Instead of acknowledging that there's a lull, what we need to do is recognize that we need to do something a little bit differently. And we're not always going to be able to get everyone engaged. There are just always going to be challengers who aren't comfortable, who need to be coached kind of on the side, who just like to watch, or who aren't on Facebook a lot. And that's different. I'm really referring to when there's a lull in the group, it's usually because even the coaches are in a lull. And so really doing a gut check and figuring out like where you're at, what you're doing. If you're comfortable with what you're doing, great. But just taking an opportunity to do that gut check. And another thing that they said about that was, about the gut check, was to really like look at yourself. And if your challenger was doing every single thing that you're doing, would, it's not really like, would you be proud as a coach, but would you be like, right on, you're doing all the things perfect, like you're getting it all done? And if the answer is no, then that's another gut check, as to what do you need to do to be different. For example, when they said that, I realized that I tell all my challengers to do a program from start to finish, exactly as it says, follow the workout routine, follow the schedule, eat all the containers, but I have never done that, ever. So because I'm usually training for a run or something, I use that as an excuse to not actually ever complete a full program. I've done most of the 21-day fix, but not particularly in order and not in like not consistently. And so I've decided for my gut check, or butt check, as I said, I'm going to start T25 on Monday, and it's a 3-month program, and I'm doing it start to finish. I'm going to do the eating plan, I'm going to do the workouts, and I'm going to I'm going to share about that journey the whole way through. So I'm going to show what it looks like to do T25 from beginning to end, the good, the bad, the ugly. A lot like what I've seen Laura do on her post. She's like, I'm on day 6 of whatever. I can't remember how many days are in PIO, but that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to share that journey. So that was a big part of my gut check. Am I invested? Am I committed? Am I doing what I expect my challengers to do? And if the answer is no, then I need to change something. And so that's what I'm doing. The other thing I want to incorporate is asking for testimonials. So, and this will be something that we do one-on-one. We might post about it in the group, but what I would like to do with my challengers is at the end, when I do my last check-in with them, I'm going to ask them to write like 3 or 4 sentences. It doesn't even have to be long. Just 3 or 4 sentences that sums up what this challenge did for you. And it's not all going to be weight loss and inches lost. It's going to be all those non-scale victories that we've been focusing on, because we're going to continue to focus on those. And then I'm going to use those as just more proof. Not only as more proof for other people when I'm promoting a program or promoting a challenge, but I'm going to use it as proof to my challenger that sent it to me. On her hard day, I'm going to be able to say, but look at what you have accomplished, and look at what you told me at the end of the last challenge. And these were your goals that you're working for, and this is what you've gotten to. Let's keep pushing through. You can, and just being able to use their own words to show them. And I've done that actually with a couple of you coaches out there, with pictures and things like that. But I loved the idea of getting that testimonial and asking for it. And then incorporating the testimonials back into my coaching with that person. So, for example, I'll just always use Laura because I know she won't care. I use a lot of her testimonials from the beginning of her challenge when she runs into frustrations now. Okay, but remember how you said this. Okay, but remember when this. Okay, but remember this. Keep pushing. You've pushed through worse. You've pushed through harder. You pushed through a different hard time. And I'm able to do that because I do keep kind of a record of things, but I love this idea of asking them to provide something rather than just using words from a conversation we've had, having them share that testimonial. Sorry, super uncomfortable. Hi, Steph. Knowing your challenger is going to be super important. How much do you know your challenger? Have you set up a WUFU form? If you haven't, I highly recommend it. You get 3 WUFU forms for free. And I have one for my 5-day, one for my 21-day, and one for prospective coaches. And in that form, and I'll be happy to send you the link if you message me, I ask them, what is your goal? What do you struggle with most? Those are my 2 most important questions because, or my third important one is, what excuses do you make? And that's huge because it's not so much that I'm going to hold them accountable when they start to make that excuse, which I will do in a sneaky way. Whoa, Amy, got a big scary knife. But what I will do is I totally just lost my train of thought. Sorry, I got distracted. But what I will do is, but the simple act of them having to sit and type out like all the excuses that they use, like that's huge for me. It's no secret I'm in a 12-step group. I 12-step nonstop, and that's a huge part of me working my steps isn't just speaking it, but writing it out. And I have more therapeutic value from sitting and answering these very hard questions, having to put them on a piece of paper and say, this is what I've done, or this is what I do, or this is the resentment I hold, this is the excuse I make. Simply just doing that makes me more aware of it. And when I start to do it again, I'm like, oh, I'm doing that thing that I wrote down that I did. So I think that will help create a lot of staying power for your people. And I'm going to change my form up just a little bit. But I would really recommend getting your own, because you can attach it to your email so it emails you right away. And have your challengers do it. Even if you already have people involved and you think you know their goals might have changed. And so have your current challengers do it before we start our next group. Know your challengers and know their struggles too. That's important. Struggles, goals, and excuses. Those are the top 3 things that I would say you need to know about each of your challengers. Invite challengers to call each other out, and that's not a bad thing. I mean that in a good way. So we will have a day of the week where we ask all of the challengers to comment below who has supported them and helped them this week. And not necessarily directly, but even indirectly. So I might be like, I might comment like, when Katie posted about her struggle with drinking water, that helped me because I'm struggling with drinking water. So it doesn't have to be like it won't be like a direct invitation to say, Amy Lopez called me on Friday and she helped me so much, even though that's okay. We want even indirect ones. Like, what post helped you the most this week? What did you benefit? What did you get from that post? How did it help you? And so asking challengers, and that will actually help us find other coaches too, possibly. Like, it'll help encourage people. It'll let people know they're encouraging people. Like, none of us feel good or confident in this process when we're first starting. Sometimes we still don't feel good in this process when we're 3 or 4 months in. Sometimes after 8 months, we start not feeling good again. And I think that will help sort of show people that they're important and valuable and more than just a challenger in a group, that it's truly a community. When your challengers aren't participating, ask them why. Why? What's going on? I noticed that you're quiet in the group. Is everything okay? Do you need more from me? Find out why they're not participating. Is it because they're not doing the program? Is it because they don't like seeing my face? Is it because they don't like how many people are in there? There's all kinds of things. And knowing that will help you, because we also have this awesome My Challenger app. And if it's just too overwhelming and too much for them, there is what you can do. And I did this with Amy, although I did a really bad job. Sorry, Amy. Amy ran a My Challenger app group that I was part of, and literally all we did was copy from the group and paste it over there. So whatever was posted, it was like 2 seconds of extra work. It was no big deal. And if somebody's more comfortable in that environment, then it might just be worth it, because we wanted to help them. So we kind of have to meet them where they're at too. It doesn't mean we're just going to offer that right away, but if somebody needs that one-on-one and it's a little easier for them to do it in the My Challenger app, then do that. I also love the My Challenger app because you check in your shakes, your workout, and was there anything else, Amy? That's pretty much a...
You can keep track of your, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. You can keep track of your before and after photos in there.
Oh, right.
You can do measurements, weight, yeah, all of that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's super easy. It's like a click of the button. I had to take it off my phone because I was out of space for pictures when we were in Nashville, but I have to put it back on. Otherwise, I'd show you right now. So just being aware of why they're not involved and what we can do to help them. So another good important reminder is to expect that they don't know what they're doing. Like, that is so important. And I know, Katie, that you probably heard me talk about this a lot at La Petite. It's not that they don't know anything. It's that we are saying, we know this and we can support you and help you. And that doesn't mean we know everything, but it kind of puts us at, like, for lack of better words, at the expert position, right? So I made the mistake of assuming someone had read their book real recently and knew what the color containers were. And she wasn't using them. And I was like, well, why aren't you using them? She's had her program for like 3 weeks now. And she said, well, I already portion really well. I feel comfortable with that. I just need to know, like, what foods I should be eating. And I'm like, oh my God, I never explained or figured out that she didn't understand that that was also teaching you what foods to eat, right? Like, she was just assuming that she just needed those to scoop out food. She didn't realize that there's a whole system there. And once I explained that to her, she's like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. That's what I need. So making sure that you are explaining everything. Assume that they don't know anything, but not in like a talking down way, just in a, I want to make sure you're taken care of way. Creating a contract as their coach. That is just like very basically saying, like, I'm going to put you in this group and I'm going to coach you. Do I have your permission, after they've sent you their excuses, their goals, and their struggles? It's being able to say, do I have your permission to push you when you're making those excuses? Very clear as day. Very rarely are they going to say no, if ever. Do I have your permission to push you if you go MIA on the page? Do I have your permission to push you if you drop out, or if you're, if I see you're eating that food that you say that you struggle with eating? Just asking their permission. It's just a verbal contract. It doesn't have to be like a written one, but showing them that you're interested and that this isn't just all sugar clouds and lollipops, that it gets tough, and that you aren't going to be mean, of course, but that you care about them, that they offered you this very like vulnerable information, that they struggle with this and they make excuses like this. And do you have permission to ask them, to change that behavior when it comes up, or to work through it with them? I think that that's really valuable. I got this idea from Summit, and this is really awesome. Create a Pinterest board for your challengers. I mean, how many times have you sent your challengers to Pinterest to look for recipes? A bazillion. If you create your own board just for your challengers, and anyone can see it, of course, then it's good for you because other people are seeing it. But you fill it with like Shakeology recipes, different menus for the different 21-day fix calorie brackets, recipes. Like, think of the endless amounts of things you could do with just 30 minutes of clicking, and you don't even have to do it all at once. You can build it over time. Then each time you welcome a new challenger, you can say, find me on Pinterest. I have a board just for my challengers. There will be tons of resources and advice there and guidelines. And I mean, it's just a gift. It's an extra gift in an extra way that you're showing that you care. I loved that idea. I haven't had a chance to do it yet, but probably this weekend. Showing recognition in the group, making sure that you call people out when they're doing a really great job, when they're participating a whole bunch, when they're supporting other challengers, saying it not just behind the scenes, but to everybody. Like, being able to say, like, I really appreciate Susie. She's been a great support, and I've heard from lots of challengers that she's been helping everyone. So I just wanted to give you a virtual high five for supporting everybody this round. And then also doing that when someone signs up as a coach. I don't know if you noticed, I did that in the 5-day group this time when Linda signed up as a coach. I posted that thing in there, and I'm going to post about Laura becoming a coach too in our prep week probably. And it gets everybody else intrigued and excited. Like, oh, well, what are they doing? I want to do that. And I actually got 2 more people signed up after that, right after that, from our 5-day group, because they wanted that. They wanted sort of that recognition, and they acknowledged that other people were interested too. So, staying organized. I don't know how you guys stay organized with your challengers, but making sure that you have written down when you followed up with your challengers last. I have a specific day of the week that I do it on, but I'm changing my organization up a little. I'm going back to pen and paper. I just got this binder with tabs via Jessica's idea. And I have written on here, well, I have a list of people that I invited, and then I have a list of people who signed up that I need to add. And then under another tab, it'll be all my current challengers and the last time I talked to them. And I need pen and paper. I can't do anything online. That never works for me. I even have an old school paper calendar. So do what works for you, but make sure you have some sort of system in place, because that follow-up is so important with our current challengers. And sometimes I don't hear from anybody. Like, there are weeks, there's months where one of our challengers, I message all the time, and I was like embarrassed. Like, after a couple of months of messaging her once a week, I was like, okay, well, I don't want her to think I gave up on her. I'm just and she's still getting her shakes. And then she came back last time, and she was like, thanks for not giving up on me. And I was like, oh God, I felt like a stalker. So glad that you didn't see it that way. So it's okay if they're not responding, but just follow through and show that you care, that they mean something to you. And every time I message them, I do kind of like, I've probably done it with you guys before. I just say, hey, how was the week? Did you meet your goals for last week? What did you struggle with? And what do you want to work on going into this week? And again, it's that saying it out loud and writing it down. Like, I always encourage them to write it down, sticky notes, I'm a sticky note girl, and put it where they can see it so that they're constantly remembering, like, that's my goal, that's what I'm working towards. And it's very simple. Like, I'm explaining it in a very broad, drawn out way, but it's very simple to do these things, especially if you have a routine down for them. I have scheduled out for the rest of the year all of our challenges. I'm going to somehow put them in our team page. I may just create events so that, like, a separate event for each one so that you can plan for it. The important thing that I need help in September, because I'm fortunate enough I've been planning 3 conferences for my work, and I've been invited to go on them, which means I'm going to be gone for about 2.5 weeks of September to Europe, which is very exciting for me. But I'm going to need help with our September challenges, particularly the 5-day one. But the next challenge coming up will be our 5-day. Well, first we're starting our 21-day August 8th, and it'll end on September 3rd. And that includes prep week. Our 5-day challenge for August will start on the 22nd. And I planned out the 5 days so that it's enough time to order a challenge pack for the next group. In September, Beachbody is running a bet challenge where I don't remember the exact details, and so I'll focus on those later. But basically, there's a pot of money, and literally everyone who does it can split the pot of money. They're running it through the My Challenger app, and the requirement is that they have to check in 5 times a week for all of September, and whoever does that gets to split this pot. So it's not even like a gamble. It's like, if they do it, they get money. And I can't remember, do you remember the buy-in, Amy? Was it like $10 or something like that? It wasn't very much. It's either $5 or $10.
I didn't remember a buy-in. I just remember that I'm sorry, I'm choking. I'm eating too fast. For every challenge pack that's sold
Oh, is that what
in
it is?
August, they're donating towards that pot. That's correct? Is that correct?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'll get you
That's
more.
what I thought it was, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, I'm sure
Okay.
I believe you.
I think they're donating $5 towards the pot for every challenge pack
Okay.
sold, I think,
Okay.
during Team Cup month. Okay.
Well, I'll get the details. Amy's selling all the challenge packs in the world, so she's making the pot go up super high. But either way, all they have to do is participate 5 times a week. It is through the My Challenger app. And so we kind of need to talk about if anyone's going to prefer to do that instead. We'll figure that out as we go. It's okay. Everybody.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
are we doing the country heat? Are we doing that a separate group on the 15th? Because I saw you and Stephanie post stuff, and then so I did today. So I was just wondering.
I didn't say a date, but we can figure that out. Do you want to do it on the 15th?
Oh, I thought that's what that little photo showed on it, the 15th.
I don't know what I post. I just posted. I'm just kidding.
I made my own photo, but I kind of copied
Okay.
that one.
Maybe it did say that and I didn't realize it. But we can start on the 15th. If that's what my photo says, then that's when we're starting. Hold on, let me pull it up. Sorry.
And technically, we're already starting the other group on the 15th, really, if you don't count prep week. But
It does say the 15th. I sort of think we should run a separate group. Probably. How many do you guys have?
I just have one so far.
One, and you have one? And I have one for sure. I'm hoping 2 more. Let's see what happens. Do you guys mind waiting a little bit? Because I mean, really, I have an idea of how to throw that together, so that's easy too. So let's wait a couple days so I can see what we get together over the weekend, and then we can make the decision. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to put you off because I know it's important that we know what we're doing. I don't want there to be more work for us, but I think I have a way for us to do it, because I don't really want to join any of the bigger teams on it, because I don't know how. I don't like coaching outside of our group. So let's see what we pull together this weekend, and then we'll make a decision, because we can always do like a 3-day prep group if we need to, but we'll decide by Sunday. Does that sound like a deal? Then we'll know for sure what everybody else is. Okay.
One of my one so far is Lindy.
Yeah.
And I think she would rather stay in our current group.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because she knows people, but I'm willing to do whatever with her. But I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I was going to say about that.
That's good to know. Okay. I had like 2 people. Oh, sorry, Katie. Go ahead.
Oh, mine's a new girl. I don't think she really knows anything,
Right.
so it doesn't matter for her.
Okay. Well, and I had one gal ask me about it, and she was like, "Are there going to be like 1 million people in this group?" And I was like, "Actually," but she's been going back and forth. I don't know, 9 months, and she hasn't bought anything yet. So, maybe, I don't know. I could always have her do it on my challenge tracker too. So, okay. So August 21st or 22nd, we're gonna do our 5-day. Then in September, our 21 days will go from the 5th to 1st of October. Our 5-day will go from the 19th to the 20th, and that'll have to be by somebody else. And then we'll figure that out later. October 21 day will go from the 3rd to the 29th. And the 5-day will go from the 24th to the 28th. November challenge will go, the 21-day will go from the 7th to the 3rd of December. And the 5-day will be the 21st through the 25th. But I actually didn't look and see if that's Thanksgiving. Hold on. Forgot about Thanksgiving. That is during Thanksgiving. Okay, I might change that. But anyways. And then December 21-day will be from the 5th to the 31st, ending on New Year's Eve. And the 5-day will be from the 19th to the 23rd. And last year we ran the 21-day over Christmas and New Year's Day too. And I think that's good. Like, because it's showing, I think it's okay that people indulge and eat big foods. I almost feel like I prefer that because real life happens, holidays happen, birthdays happen, vacations happen. And that's always everyone's number one excuse. Oh, I can't do it this month because I'm going on vacation. Well, we still get to eat junky food and we still have to pull our lives together even when we have vacations and holidays. So I'm okay actually with it running over that amount. I think that is it for okay, so we're going to start doing our team Zooms every 2 weeks. I'm going to record them and put them on, hold on, Amy. I'm going to record them and put them on my own private YouTube channel. That's exciting. And then I'll offer a day every other week for individual Zooms. If you can't make it and you want an individual one-on-one Zoom, it's totally okay to ask me for a time outside of that. But I do want to be able to give you like a consistent, regular schedule of when I'll be available for one-on-one Zooms, especially after I start school again. And then at Summit, we had to do this thing where, actually, I'm going to save that for the next Zoom. I'm not even going to do that. That doesn't even make sense or fit in right now. Okay. Amy, you have a question?
Yes, I do.
Hi, Amy.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. I've been waiting for this for like almost a whole year.
Okay.
For October.
Okay.
Can we please do a surviving the zombie apocalypse?
Absolutely. Yes.
Katie's like, oh my gosh.
That would be fun.
Crazy.
Yeah, I really think we should have more fun with our challenge names. Even if we didn't promote them as such, like we should have more fun in what they're called. Like, don't you even feel like sometimes that gets boring? Like, here we go. That's why I was like, suns out, guns out. That sounds like fun. Sure. Like, let's just do that. Like, even if you don't promote it that way, but like, I think it's important to keep it fresh and fun, even for us coaches, because we're getting tired. And if we're getting tired, our challengers are going to pick up on the energy and they're going to get tired. And we're doing like the same thing over and over and over. And I don't expect, we're not going to like revamp and change everything. And then the next 21 challenge, revamp and change everything. We're just going to mix it up a little and work on, I think it's important to work on our engagement because that works on our staying power. And I think that that's super important. We know if you stay long-term, the benefits. You guys are both coming up on your golden scoops, aren't you?
Like, I think Sunday's my anniversary. The 7th, maybe?
Okay, so maybe next time you'll get your golden scoop. That's awesome. I'm jealous. Are you getting yours soon, Katie? Were you November? Is that when you joined?
What? Sorry, I turned my Wi-Fi off because it was like cutting in and out really bad. So I'm using my data.
Your data? We're gonna get cut off in a minute. Your golden scoop. When is your 1 year?
Ooh, October.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Awesome.
Zombie apocalypse!
I know. I switched. Katie, for those of you, Katie, who don't know, I switched on my last month. I got the supplements because Troy had a whole bunch of extra shakes that he hadn't drank. So I was like, I'll just switch to the supplements for this month to get my personal volume. And didn't even realize it was my 12th month. And so even though I was drinking shakes, I didn't get my freaking golden scoop, and now I have to wait 10 more months for it. Anyways, Okay, I'm going to stop recording really quick before we get. Thanks, everybody.